Hello, sweeties. Have you ever been in the scenario where you've got a lake house in a workspace and that workspace is really busy or the lake house is really busy, so you're seeing some sort of contention? Either that's on the lake house itself, on the SQL endpoint, or on the semantic model that's associated with it. And you'd ever thought, what I'd really like to do is clone or mirror that lake house into another workspace. Well, that is what I've got. So what I've got is a workspace that is super busy, lots of things happening here, and I've got a lakehouse. And so I've got some tables. It's a schema-enabled lakehouse. So I've got some tables here. I've got some tables here with some data in. Actually, these are all shortcuts. And then I've got my SQL Analytics endpoint, and I've got some tables in here, so obviously, but I've also got some views. So not in that one, but I've got a view here in my sales, and I've got in this one here, tests. This is just a schema that exists on the SQL endpoint, doesn't exist anywhere else. And so here is a view, and here is a stored procedure. So what if I just want to make a copy of that, a clone of it somewhere else? How do I do that? How do I do that quickly? Right, so here's a solution. So if I hit get started, I select my workspace, so my busy one, and I'm going to select my busy lake. I'm then going to say, right, here's my destination. So I'm going to put it in my not busy, which is this one, which should have nothing in it. There we go. And now I'm going to create a lake house. We'll call this busy lake. I'm going to create it. It's just select. There we go. So what it's doing is it's going to list all the schemas. So we had a sales schemas and we had this other test schema, and we're going to move those across. It also lets me connect to the SQL Analytics endpoint and move those views. So I can select which ones I want, or I can just say all of them. And then if there are any stored procedures, I'll just select them all. And then I hit next. And I'm going to start it. Now, what it's doing is it's creating shortcuts to the original lakehouse. So in the DBO schema, it's going to create some table shortcuts. And then for that other schema sales, it's going to create a schema shortcut. Then it's going to run the MD sync process, which you can see it's just doing here right now. Then it's going to copy across the views and the stored procedures. So then I'll have an exact copy of that lakehouse and SQL Analytics endpoint in a different workspace. So let's go over and have a look now and see how far it's got. We can hit refresh. So we can see they're all the same tables there. And here is these are all table shortcuts. This is a schema shortcut. Let's go and have a look at let's see if there's, we can just see if there's some data. Just to prove it's working. Here's our SQL Analytics endpoint. And we can see that the schemas are there. There's our DBO. DBO with tables in. Let's just double check that they work. In fact, we can even look at the lake view. Is there anything there? So these are materialized lake views. And here is our sales schema with our tables. And there is our view. And here is the other schema that didn't exist in the lakehouse. And this one has a view and also has a stored procedure. There you go. All right. So that was pretty simple. Now, this doesn't do, it's even given me a nice output of what's happened. It also goes through and does some verification as well, which is quite nice. It's telling you what is done. Clearly, there's something I need to do. I mean, that does exist. So clearly, I need to fix that bug. So what we've done is we've used some UX to really just automate some REST APIs in the background that creates shortcuts. We'll create a lakehouse, create some shortcuts, table shortcuts, schema shortcuts, and move across the schema, the stored procedures, and views from a SQL Analytics endpoint. All right, thanks for watching. All right, love you. Bye.